Man, we gonna get straight to it. We gonna get straight to it. I just did like a 30-minute recording, but I messed up and I had to stop it. So I'm just gonna get straight to it. So the reason why I've gathered you all here today is because there are some areas of concern that we should take a look at with this upcoming eclipse. Okay, I do feel like this solar eclipse is going to snatch some souls. It's going to snatch some souls and it's going to do a lot of exposing. It's going to do a lot of exposing. Okay. All right. So first up, we got Jay-Z. This is Jay-Z's chart. Okay. And these are the transits for October the 2nd. So for October the 2nd, this eclipse is going to be taking place in Jay-Z's second house, which means that Jay-Z's financials are going to be taking a hit. Okay, Jay-Z's financials are definitely going to be taking a hit. Okay. Um, so on the day of the eclipse, you're going to have Juno at the 18th degree. That's going to be forming a conjunction with his Uranus at the 8th degree with an orb of 10. Okay. So what this means is that on that day, he can definitely put it in a hit. He could be put it in a hit for a close relationship that he has, taking the other person out. But he's not safe. He thinks he's safe, but he's not safe. You got Saturn that is transiting his seventh house of open enemies in Pisces. So he wouldn't even know where his where this energy that was coming from that was putting him in a place where he had open enemies trying to bring him down, destroy his public image. And Saturn is conjunct his north node. His north node is at the 17th degree. That's a Leo degree, right? And it's in a moon beacon. So when you got your north node at a 17th degree, man, it brings about a big destiny. Not as big as like having it at the 29th degree, but it's a big destiny, right? And when it's in Pisces, this means that your calling was to be more spiritual. Your calling was to be more, you know, um, to go deeper in the realms of like, uh, like your dream world, right? Like the astral plane, like enter, delving in the world of psychedelics in a way to truly understand who you are, not truly having control and being so analytical, over analytical, kind of like stepping back, be like, ah, la 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 la, just kind of like free flowing it a bit, right? Because his nature is to be super controlling, right? To see everything, to have all the details. Okay. And that's his, of course, that's his ascendant. So you got the South Node that's conjunct his ascendant. So this is literally been something that he's been dealing with for a long time. It would be even truer if like his ascendant was, well, yeah, yeah. Wow. Wait a minute. This man, he's aware of this, you know? Like he's aware that he's controlling. It's something that he thinks about, but he thinks about it in a negative way. That's a trioctile that's forming with his ascendant, right? With Saturn. So he realizes, and the Saturn is at the ninth house, Taurus, right? So really, really, truly, this is somebody who should have spent like a lot of time and they're giving back through like areas of religion, could have been through any form of higher learning, truly taking that route to be of service to other people, but he didn't take that route, took another route. Um, okay, so let me just kind of, I can go deep into this chart, but let me stay focused and tell y'all why we're here. Okay, I'm gonna do this with every chart. Just gonna tell y'all why we're here, because I can get lost in kind of dissecting your chart. Okay. Okay. So damn, this man got Palace at the 18th degree. Oh my God, this man is extremely calculated. Extremely calculated. Oh shit. And his palace is conjunct Juno. What's that? 1920 with the orbit forward. Yo, this man is extremely calculated in his relationships, right? He uses his relationships to, in a way, like boost up people, like saying, I can get you to this status, right? But he does it in a way to where um, it's over controlling, right? The 18th degree is a Virgo degree, but the 18th degree can represent uncurable diseases and represent tragedy, or it can just represent like evil intent, right? Um, and so this is the control that he has is in his relationships. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is that control factor. Like I need structure. I need to be in control. Like I need to have and like I need to have the ability to structure how people see me, right? And usually when it's a Capricorn, it's something that has been done for a while. Like it's something that is it's a part of us, but it's something that can stem from past lifetimes, right? And so he has his Priapus conjunct his palace. Like this combination right here, y'all, this can make a super villain. I didn't even think I was going to talk about that, but I just saw that. This can make for a super villain. And his Priapus is square his Uranus. His Priapus is square his moon. His palace is like I'm saying his Priapus is square. His Uranus at the eighth degree. Oh hell no. Nah. No, 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 no. So yeah, when he is in his feelings, when he feels hurt, when he feels like he's not in control, um, he resorts to using his money to form a contract to take out other people, right? Um, like it's hired people to unalive people, right? Uranus is just to separate, to take away, right? Um, but Uranus, the eighth degree is that Scorpio degree. The eighth degree can be like that shoot 'em up, bang bang, that killer degree. And since it's forming a square with his Priapus in the fifth house, the fifth house is our inner child, like our expression of self, like the second time we got to identify with our avatar, like our self as our avatar, our 3D avatar, right? So how he likes to express himself, you can see it right here. Okay, I said I wasn't a little too deep in the chart because anyway. So on the second, what's going to be happening with him is that you're going to have it could be a betrayal that happens with him, right? That could actually cause him to take his own life, right? You could have um, Vesta is going to be at the 18th degree. And again, Vesta is going to be conjunct his ascendant at the 19th degree, right? The 19th degree represents, Libra. 19th degree is again like contracts, our relationships. So with Vesta being like that events focus factor, like usually things we like to integrate in our life, but something that we have like a burning desire for, like it's going to be put in an immense focus on like his relationship with Beyonce. But since it's in Virgo, it's not going to be a good focus. It's going to, of course, it's going to be like over an analytical focus, but it's not probably, since it's at the 18th degree, you're going to see Jay-Z and Beyonce relationship go through some damaging, extremely damaging point through this eclipse. It's going to have a betrayal that happens. His relationship could actually end. Libra represents our marriage, right? And so Lilith is going to be in the second house, that repressed energy. You got Virgo that's going to be there. I mean, yeah. So either you're going to see the beginning of the downfall of this relationship that can happen underneath, you know, in front of the entire world. Because Mercury represents like the media, right? Mercury is going to be in the middle of this eclipse. When you have something that is in the middle of the eclipse, And it's the eclipse is something in our lives that is changing. It's a milestone in our life. The eclipse, you see, the ancients used to track the eclipses. They used to track the tides. Like the tides and the eclipses were very important. These were times in our lives where our lives went through changes, especially whatever sign is in that eclipse, right? So you're going to have his second house of money, his marriage, his contracts, all going through this rebirth. Okay, I want to go further, but let's move on to the next person. Who do we have next? Um, we have Kanye West. Kanye West. Damn, I wish I could have posted a video from earlier. Okay, so on Kanye right now is going through his Gemini return. This is a great thing because Kanye is finally feeling like he's getting the admiration that he deserves. Because when you have your son in the 12th house, right? Somebody who has their son in the 12th house can often feel like they went through an unfair childhood, like things weren't really fair for them, like they didn't really feel seen, like their identity, was not really validated in a way, right? Even if that's not what you're seeing on the outside, I'm telling you that's what it is, right? And this situation was actually it was emphasized because you got Jupiter in the 12th house. So it's putting like this feeling was magnified. And so he found his, comfort through music, right? His Neptune is at the 14th degree. It's in Sagittarius, it's in a Mars deacon, right? So music is something that you can see was like when something's in Sagittarius, Sagittarius represents the ninth house. The ninth house represents like higher study. It opposes the Gemini. Gemini is like our basic education. The ninth house, Sagittarius, is where the things that we like to take and fully unpack them and almost become a master in that area. So since Neptune represents music, Hollywood, that type of thing. You can see that he is a master of music and it's in a Mars deacon. So how he is literally connects to how he goes about doing things, his mode of operation. It's always been about music, right? And in a way, it's kind of like he that that energy, that repressed energy that he experienced his whole life, he can get it out through music. Okay. So on the day of the eclipse, you're going to have Mars conjunct his ascendant. His ascendant is going to be at the 18th degree. 18th degree is um, in Cancer, and it's in Pluto deacon. That when you see that right away, it kind of gives you a indication of what somebody will go through in their personal life with their mother. Um, and he lost his mom, right? Like it was tragic, but you have his ascendant squaring Pluto. So you got Pluto and Libra and Uranus. Uranus means to take away, can mean suicide, can mean a lot of things, right? But when you have Pluto in the fourth house represents your mother, your family. And so this brings about the death of his mother, but it was done contractually through open enemies, right? You can see that it was inevitable for him to make this agreement, right? And have his mom taken away. And this agreement, it catapulted his music, right? He has Pluto, like the death of his mom, right? It catapulted, it's sextiling his Neptune, right? So when he signed that contract, yes, it's square his ascendant. So it emotionally it's tied to it's literally tied to his personality and why he goes about doing things like the death of his mom, and it's like a guilty conscience in a way. So anything that he kind of starts in life, he kind of feels like he needs to tie his mom energy to it to kind of make up for what he did, for that sacrifice to his music. And you can see that his Pluto is opposing his midheaven, so he had to find a way to bring those opposing energies to match I'm sorry, to, uh, he had to find a way to use the death of his mom to use like his lowest points in his life, right? To boost his image, to boost his midheaven. His midheaven is at the third degree, it's a Gemini degree. And so that's why a lot of people see this man like like a Gemini, right? Like Aries are the way we go about doing things connects to our personality. So the world, they don't really see his music, they see his personality, right? In the Gemini way. Um, and it's oftentimes it's tied to his anger, right? Like the way that he talks, like the way that he talks is just very like it's filled with fire because it's midheaven. The way the world sees you, even the teachers that you have here in your life, the life lessons that's connected to your legacy, it's very Mercurian. That degree that your midheaven is at is very important, especially if you have any planets that's connected to the midheaven. But anyway, on the October 2nd, he could face betrayal because Juno's going to be at the 18th degree, right? That degree of tragedy, disaster. That's going to be conjunct his North Node at the 22nd degree, right? To take somebody's life or you taking somebody else's life. I'm sorry, to take somebody's life or somebody taking your life. So he can face a betrayal that could inevitably uh, be his fate because the North Node, let's say you're in between two magnets and you got one pole of the magnet, that's the South Node, and that's pulling you where you came from. And you got the other pole of the magnet that's pulling you where you need to go. And your soul is being drawn to where you need to go. And that's your North Node, right? So his North Node is at the 22nd degree in Libra, right? So in a way, he's being called to be like an advocate for social justice, right? Amongst a lot of other things, like using his voice to advocate for other people, right? But that's not why we're here. That's not, let me stay focused. So that's the represents like um an area of our life where we like to integrate something to our life, something that we have a passion for, our burning desire, something that we would like to take and make it a part of us. But it can also mean an immense focus when it's transiting in an area of your life where it's something that's like going to play in your head over and over, like, and especially if it's an area of your life where something is unfinished, Gus is going to bring it back up and it's going to become a theme in your life. But for the outside, it can be where other people are going to be focused on you. So since it's going to be at the 18th degree on that day in the house of media, it could be the media reporting about some tragedy because it's in Virgo and Virgo deals with our health, right? Our health. So hopefully not. But but you're going to have this energy squaring his ascendant, squaring his ascendant, man. So it's his physical body, right? His life, I am energy. This is why his chart is up here, because Mars is also going to be in conjunction with his ascendant. Mars represents guns, anger, swords, right? Uh, Angst. And so Mars is going to be at a critical degree on that day. However, well, actually, it's going to be at the 15th degree, and the 15th degree also represents news, media, right? So again, but a few days later, Mars is going to be at the 18th degree. And so Kanye is going to have a window where I truly hope that he makes it out of this window. But during this time, during the eclipse time, um, he could lose his life. Not saying he will, not saying he will, but he could. I might circle back to his chart, but let me get to the other charts. So you got Diddy. I'm not going to spend too much time on this man. Let me just say that he has his Jupiter at the 22nd degree conjunct his Venus, right? Venus is our values, our morals, the way we make money. Um, and you have this energy, his Jupiter is squaring his Lilith. Lilith is like that repressed, often repressed sexual energy, and is in the house of his seventh. It's in the seventh house, open enemies, right? Um, our relationships. So in his relationships, the only energy that he has tying him to his relationships is he likes to like to act out those fantasies, in his relationships. And those fantasies, y'all, they stem from his mom. They stem from his mom, right? So it's he leaves people confused as fuck when they get in a relationship with him because this repressed energy is taking place in Neptune. So it he disguises it in one way, like they're getting into something, and by the end of it, they had no idea what they got into because he does it in a very like emotional way, where he does it like, "Oh, I'm caring for you, I'm nurturing for you," but at the same time, um, you know, smear this ego shit on your face and go do a dance in the woods and do the sacrifice, whatever. But on the day of the eclipse, he's going to have Juno again at the 18th degree, conjunct his Jupiter at the 22nd degree. The 10th house represents our legacy, the way the world sees us, right? The public eye. So he could actually go through a, a tragedy himself by the hands of his open enemies. Libra are open enemies. It can be contractual. Somebody can, you know, contract his death, like a higher death. Um, that day, you're going to have Vesta. That's going to be conjunct his Pluto, right? Pluto represents death. And saying Virgo, our health. Uh, Also, that day, I don't want to spend too much time on this, man. I'm really just trying to get in and out. Uh, Okay, so if I have time, I'll come back to Diddy. But on that day, just know that Diddy could lose his life. Venus, Venus, a lot of people think Venus, she does represent love, morals, values, money, a lot of good things, relationships, but she can also represent war. Lucifer, morning star, she can illuminate any houses she's in, that situation. So right now she's in his 11th house, Scorpio, secrets, Mercury represents media, 8th degree, our secrets, right? So right now, Venus is actually illuminating his secrets, and it's messing with his money directly, messing with his relationships, messing with um you actually have this is all being done by somebody he thinks is who probably thought he thought was close to him, but it's actually an open enemy. I have my thoughts, but you have his open enemy because that's what Venus represents, that is exposing his secrets to the media, right? So he could definitely take his life, quote unquote, takes. Who else we have? We have Little Wayne from the day of the eclipse. Little Wayne is going to have Mars in Cancer conjunct his Priapus at the 22nd degree, in the 8th house, the house of physical death. You're going to have Little Wayne having Venus, I'm sorry, Juno, that's going to be conjunct his Saturn at the 22nd degree. Again, this can be a contract like which you're probably going to see a bunch of people taken out due to somebody like calling the shots. Like taking, it's not going to be, nothing's going to be a natural death. It's all going to be tragedy, right? You're going to have Vesta, that's going to be at the 18th degree, illuminating his. But again, Vesta's going to be in Virgo, our physical health, and it's going to be in the public eye. His midheaven is at the 20th degree. 20th degree is Scorpio. So the you're going to have a lot of stuff coming out about Little Wayne as well in the public eye, some secrets, um, but it's going to be in a way. Uh, Let me take a look at it. On that day for Wheezy F baby, we say the baby. Uh, what's Squeezy? Saturn. Ooh. So yeah. So on that day, um, you're going to have Mars, right, conjunct his previous at the 22nd degree, him being a subject to other people's energy, repressed male energy, somebody in his life that could cause him to lose his life because this Mars conjunct his Priapus is going to be squaring his Saturn. Saturn is a tough son of a bitch, so tough teacher. Saturn conjunct his Pluto. Pluto represents our death, physical death. And Pluto is at a high Aries degree, the highest Aries degree, right? So, and it's in a Mercury decan, again, denoting our, let me drink some water. Oh my God, 1 second, yo. Oh, yeah. So the thing to remember with Weezy F Baby is that Mars for him is in a tough position. Usually when it's in this type of position, he doesn't really have a lot in his eighth house to be proud of, to be honest. Um, and I mean, I'm saying anything positive. I mean, you're gonna have Mars in the house of his physical death is gonna be squaring his Saturn in the 11th house. And Saturn is the sign of open enemies, right? And since you're gonna have Juno transiting at the 18th degree, and Juno denotes betrayal, amongst many other things. I'm just focusing on betrayal because that's for the purposes of this reading. He could literally face a betrayal that could, you know, cause him to lose his life, right? And his open enemies, they watch his every move, man. Like, or I'm sorry, his hidden enemies. He got hidden enemies that watch his every move. Like Palace is good at pattern recognition, right? So you got somebody right now that's really watching his moves, right? That could take him out. And this can be his ooh, to have Venus, right? The sign of open enemies transiting the house of hidden enemies. That's not good, especially to be touching Palace at the 8th degree. Um, who else I got up here? Jay-Z. Jay-Z. Don't know if I already Jay-Z. Man, did I already go with Jay-Z? Never first one second. Did go over Jay. I think y'all, if I didn't go with Jay-Z, I'll make another video. I got a lot going on right now. I got Pluto conjunct my IC, y'all. I'm going through a hard time in life. Just being transparent with y'all income. So somebody else I would keep an eye on would be Mike Tyson. The reason why I'm saying you should keep an eye on Mike Tyson is only because on the day of the eclipse for Big Mike, you're going to have Vesta at the 18th degree squaring is Mars at the 22nd degree. Now, the reason why I save his for last is because this isn't as concerning, as the others. Uh, yes, isn't really as concerning as the others. Um, but his Mars is at the 22nd degree, right? And it's in the 11th house, he's in Uranus, Deacon. So the only thing I would say for him would be that since his Vesta is touching his Pluto, right? Pluto represents his, physical death. You could see something that could go awry with his health around the time of the eclipse. So maybe like a new health condition, due to boxing or something like that, that could hopefully not, but could mess up his health a bit. He does, I wouldn't say he's gridlocked, I won't say it's real life to where he's facing inevitable death. But these other charts that I showed you, the reason why Diddy and Jay-Z are so close as friends is because look, they were born a month apart. They literally have the same fucking interest in life. Literally the same interest. Like their Chiron is are both at the second degree in Aries. You know? Their let's see, their Ceres, one is at 4 degrees, one is at 11 degrees. They both got the same Lilith energy, right? One's at 29 degrees, one's at 26 degrees. So these are they share the same interests, a lot of the same interests. However, you do have Jay-Z that has his Mercury and Diddy's house of hidden enemies. And you do have Venus open enemies that's conjunct um, Diddy's Neptune, physical death, and hidden enemies. So those are the only two things I would say with these two. Jay-Z could be the one to call in, like, oh no, you gotta go because you're gonna expose my secrets, homie. Gotta go. Right. Uh, Jay-Z could call in to make a call to get Diddy out of here because he don't want to go down with Diddy. Go down with the Diddler. It's going down. But with Kanye, I'm surprised I still got some time left. Kanye, man, let's hope. I'm just happy right now that uh, you got you have Mercury, or you're gonna have Neptune that's going to be transiting, or that's in his ninth house. It's going to be transiting his 10th house. So Kanye's music, his legacy is not going anywhere for a long time. Um, it's going to be part of the inspiration, discussion for years to come. Whenever Neptune gets in the sign, she stays there for a while. But no, I think I'm gonna stay here for 12 years. I think I think I'm gonna stay here for 1,000 years. But so right now you do have Pluto that is transiting back into Kanye's house of open enemies. Again, there's not too much in here that's concerning me with this house of open enemies. Let me look at this chart just to make sure Pluto's going to be right. So, good, good. So Pluto, she's going to be scoring these card lines, scoring these Mars, scoring these all of stuff. Okay. All right. All right. So let me just say too, with Kanye, uh, let's just keep his children in our prayers. Yeah, let's keep his children in our prayers. Don't like Kanye's hands are dirty as well. We already told you I sacrificed his mom, but he does have Uranus at the 8th degree and Pluto deacon in fifth house in Scorpio. So he got a lot of skeletons up in the closets, you know. Um, but one of his children could eventually take their own lives. One of his children could eventually take their own or they can take it. That's that's radio. I don't even feel right saying it because they're children. Okay. I think that is all I have for y'all today. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that like button because when you smash the like button, you tell me that like, hey, I like the videos, I like what you're saying, I want to see more of this. So I should have had my video on this whole time. I forgot that I usually have like my camera covered up with a sticker because that's just I mean while we're here. So Beyonce's chart for the daily eclipse. Oh Lord. Analyzation loading. Okay. All right. I think I did a video the other day with Beyonce's. Oh my God. Oh shit, bro. Oh shit, bro. Wait a minute. Let me pause this. Let me, I'm gonna say this, but okay. Let me show you what could happen. Because my Scorpio mind just goes to like straight to the underground. Let me. I didn't plan on doing Beyonce, but let me add her in here for the eclipse, right? So let me just first look at her. Before I say this, Beyonce could pass away. The only reason I'm saying this is because, and it could be, I don't think she's safe in that relationship. Yet. I don't think she's safe in that relationship because, oh, I did have on my little, let me turn on my light so y'all can see me. Wait, hold up. Can y'all see me with this light? All right, listen, I'm trying to go live more on YouTube, so I want to give y'all more content instead of just taking the content straight from TikTok and put it on here. I want to like engage more with the YouTube audience. So trying to, anyway, let me I got it in my chart to change topics like often. Y'all should see my chart. So yeah, I gotta stay focused. But Beyonce could lose her life because Palace represents our relationships, right? It represents our how we like to go about our relationships. It's like the energy surrounding our relationships, like our love language. Often, like where you're actually going to meet your person, right? Not just your person. Like it could be twin flame, could be your soulmate, depending on what Juno is doing. Um, but Juno here is going to be at the 18th degree again, 18th degree tragedy, uncurable stuff, like just things going awry, people getting hit by cars, that type of thing. Uh, but it's her Pluto is at the 22nd degree. Pluto, death. Okay. 22nd degree to unalive somebody or to be unalive is in your first house, Libra. Libra, open enemies, contractual relationships, our marriage. So Juno represents our relationships, and then you have her Juno and Libra of her marriage. Juno's going to be at the 18th degree, conjunct her Pluto. That's too close. It can bring about the physical death, especially since this is taking place in her first house. And the eclipse is taking place in her first house. right? What does this mean? This eclipse is going to take place in her first house, and then you're going to have Mercury come down and interact with her Pluto at the 22nd degree. You're going to now this would be even more troublesome, right? If you look at her Chiron at the 22nd degree, and you look at her Neptune at the 22nd degree. Why is this important? Oh man, legends are about to be falling out the sky. Um, Vesta's in her house of open enemies or hidden enemies. And Vesta's going to be at the 18th degree. Um, and it's again, Vesta's going to be conjunct her literal identity, the sun, her physical avatar. Okay. We're going to have the transiting Neptune that's retrograding in Pisces in her sixth house of health. That's going to be squaring her Neptune, right? Okay, cool. We can deal with that. No problem. But then you look at the moon, then you look at Saturn, you're like, wait a minute, you got both Saturn and the Neptune squaring her Neptune at the same time. And then you got the moon that's going to be over here in her first house, the same house of hidden enemies. I'm sorry, open enemies, your body, right? And the reason why her first house is so important, y'all, is because she's a not a stellium, a quad stellium. I'm making up shit. Like she has a lot of stuff in Libra. So this is why she's often hidden away, right? Because this is when you got Pluto and Libra in your first house, you are a stalker magnet. You got people that will stalk you and try to kill you because they can't have you, right? And this can often put you in times where you are controlled, right? Anyway, let me not go too deep in this because I went to this in the other video, but the only reason I'm saying she could lose her life is because this Juno placement, this Vesta placement, right? Um, when you look at her Chiron, and at the Honest, at the 26th degree, jump to her Chiron at the 22nd degree, and Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. It's not good. Let's see if I have anything else to say before we have it. This is Beyonce and Jay-Z's chart. And you can see that Jay-Z, so Jay-Z has his Uranus in her first house at the 8th degree. So uh, he got his, yeah, so he acts like he exploits that control. Like he exploits that control over her. He exploits that is he brings out more of like that sexual side of her as well. Pluto represents our sexual desires as well, amongst other things. But let me just stick to the point. Let me just so Jay-Z has so his control is mainly over her family life. His control is mainly over her family life. And he takes advantage, he kind of picks up off of that the the experiences that Beyonce had in life, being like the subject of male sexual repression, like male sexual desires, and the attitude that she formed based off of that and experiences that happened to her with men in her life, he exploits that. he likes to control that because his Saturn conjuncts Saturn is what, second degree jumping. Yeah, his her previous. Yeah, he explains that, and his Pluto is in her 12th house. So she don't even she's not even aware of the control that he has over her. She's not because he the way he does things, it makes her feel seen because she's another one who didn't feel seen when she was younger. She felt like her feelings and thoughts and everything is invalidated, but he makes her feel validated. He focuses on like that nurturing aspect, right? But it's all controlling, like it's all manipulative, right? Okay, so that's my astrological analysis for today. Again, if you like this video, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. We'll have more videos coming like this. If you like to see me, um, do a basic, and these interpretations are all basic. I don't really dive deep with anybody's charts here on YouTube. I reserve those for like the personal readings I have with people. But I mean, just give you a basic interpretation, without looking at any of the grand crosses, grand trines, like any of those type of things. So if you guys want to see like a basic interpretation, like anybody else's chart, I haven't even went over her minor aspects or their minor. So um yeah, like, share, follow. And gratitude for allowing me to share this with you. Because as I'm going through things in my life right now, I can channel the energy to creative pursuits like this. It keeps me level headed at times where I feel like the cards of no, let me change my narrative. We'll just going through a tough time, right? And this too shall pass. So, see you on next time. I love you all.